Greg Merson now with less than 3 big blinds.
Imagine being down to just 3 big blinds in the biggest tournament of your life, and then somehow days later, becoming world champion and a multi-millionaire. Sounds impossible, right? Well, not for Greg Merson, who just months earlier was locked inside a Las Vegas hotel room for a week, battling a severe drug addiction that nearly destroyed his life.
I've battled a drug addiction since I was 18. I went to rehab when I was 18. I was clean for 3.5 years. I had a relapse last year that cost me over half my net worth.
Fortunately, he got clean, and months later, found himself with a top 20 stack on day 5 of the 2012 main event. But then suddenly, one hand changed everything.
All in.
An all-in and a call.
Well, as you mentioned, these fellas have almost identical stacks. Merson about to get chip devastated.
6 of hearts on the turn. Gonzalez still ahead.
Merson needs any spade other than the 6 to knock out Gonzalez.
The river card is the 10 of hearts, and Gonzalez will double up and up.
Left with just 3 big blinds, Merson was now fighting for his tournament life. He had every reason to give up, but in the words of Rocky Balboa,
"But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done."
2 hours later, he pulled off a poker miracle, clawing his way back to over 1 million chips, finishing the day with roughly 30 big blinds. What followed over the next 3 days would become one of the most epic tournament runs in the history of televised poker. Coming into day 6, Merson completely shifted his mindset, going from survivor to hunter. His strategy? Be fearless and aggressive. When he sat down, his message to the entire table was clear. Stay the fuck out of my way.
The blind's now 30 and 60,000. Malherbe with ace-deuce suited with an opening raise to 125,000. Jack 9 of spades for Merson.
When he was learning the game, the only poker book Merson read was by Phil Hellmuth, who at the time was his favorite player. He has sworn that off now.
But he is part of the moneymaker effect, so you've had a hand in his success.
Terps help Terps.
Merson with the call. Thomas folded. Elizabeth Hill on the button. 10-4 of hearts, and she gives it up. Sam Holden in the small blind folds. And the big blind, Paul Siem, lives in Clearwater, Florida, from the Netherlands, recently became a U.S. citizen. He calls with Queen Jack.
Siem, a 41-year-old computer engineer.
3 players will see the flop. 6, 7, 7, 1 spade.
I think that flop is from another deck. It didn't come close to hitting anybody here.
Siem missed and checks. Malherbe with his ace high, which is the best hand. Has chips in hand, bets 225,000.
Malherbe takes a stab at it. We saw just a little bit earlier that Greg Merson is not always ready to give up on pots.
He is 3rd best out of the 3. And I don't think he's too worried about that. He does call.
Well, Merson with a call and a plan.
Siem folds, so heads up. Malherbe and Merson. Turn card. 4 of spades gives both flush draws. Malherbe has the nut draw. And Jean-Yves continuing to put pressure on his opponent. 520,000.
Malherbe barrels ahead, bluffing with the best hand. Okay, now we'll see if Greg Merson tips his hand, or his plan, that is.
Push your luck. 1, 3, 35.
They have almost identical stacks, Malherbe with slightly more.
Wow, Greg giving this a lot of thought.
All in.
And he moves all in.
I would say
Wow.
this is a real good read by Merson on the strength of Malherbe's hand and his willingness to continue. But the Maryland kid has just risked all his chips on Jack High.
That is amazing.
Malherbe barely has Merson covered. This would be an astounding call for essentially all his chips.
Malherbe with ace high, and the draw mucks his hand, and what a move by Greg Merson.
Merson made the right play, turning his hand into a bluff, but dodged a major bullet. His calculated aggression paid off, but he was just heating up.
To the feature table, folded to the small blind, Niels van Alphen, a 22-year-old Netherlands student, king 8 off.
This is what I know about commercial fisheries, Lon. If you want to get into that business, you got to be near water.
He sits with 2.6 million chips, a raise to 130,000. Greg Merson in the big blind with king 7 off.
This is what I know about Greg Merson. If there's a pot to be won, he's going to try to win it.
He's in the black for about $2 million here on this day 6, and he makes the call for 70,000 more, blind on blind. Here's the flop from Sean, the dealer. 5-7-6, up and down straight draw for Von Alphen. Top pair for Merson.
If Von Alphen is looking for commercial fishery investors, I think they may get jittery watching hands like this.
180,000, now to Merson.
Greg won a bracelet this year, as you mentioned, but he's an online cash guy, loves 6 max.
Chips in hand, just a call with top pair, which is best right now. Turn card now. 10 of diamonds. Merson's pair of 7s enjoys a 3-to-1 advantage now.
Of course, if Merson ends up losing this pot, I guess he becomes a de facto commercial fishery investor.
Indeed. Von Alphen with the draw. And he'll keep moving chips. 350,000.
The Dutch student plows ahead. Merson used to multi-table every day online, 24 tables. That's about 2,000 hands an hour.
He has played millions of hands online. And there's a call for 350,000. River card now is an 8. Von Alphen's 8s trump Merson's 7s.
Yeah, you can do that.
Von Alphen with the best hand checks.
Well, Von Alphen had bet every step of the way. Merson might check here and just hope the 7s are good.
What will Greg Merson do? More deep thoughts from Greg.
All in.
Wow, there he goes again.
All in. All in.
And that would put Von Alphen all in.
Boy, it's tough to say all in twice when you're bluffing. This is amazing, Lon. He again is reading the strength of his opponent's hand, but if he's wrong, the risk is sky high.
And Niels gives up his hand. Von Alphen cracks under the pressure of Greg Merson.
Merson was reading the table like a book, turning weak hands into weapons, and rewriting his destiny one hand at a time. But in the next hand, one player decided to take a stand against his relentless aggression.
160,000 with ace-queen all folded over to Merson with jack-10 of clubs, and he makes the call.
Merson says he feels like he's in the military where he's stationed overseas to make a living.
Russell Thomas with jack-9 of diamonds will come along with a call. Elizabeth Hill, does she want to get involved?
If Hill comes into the hand, Merson should just muck his hand immediately.
He has been having trouble with her. Saeed folds over to the small blind, Paul Seam.
Merson's father also played in the main event this year. He busted on day 1.
Seam gets out in the big blind. Jacob Balsiger on the Jack Links Beef Jerky Hole Cam, 8-6 of hearts.
You may recall Balsiger busted his roommate Greg Milliron on day 5. Russell Thomas once lived with Jesse Sylvia, and he's still alive in this main event.
For 80,000 more, Balsiger calls from the big blind. 4 players will see the flop. You talked about the fashionable min raise. It does often bring in the big blind to the hand. Deuce, ace, 9-2 clubs. Balsiger missed it. And he checks. Malherbe now with ace-queen. He's best with top pair.
Malherbe is scheduled for surgery after the main event to remove his chin from his left arm.
He bets 280,000. Merson now with a flush draw.
It's been a frustrating day for Greg Merson.
Merson with the flush draw, hoping to get paid off. If it hits, he makes the call. Thomas with middle pair. And his 9s get out of the way. Balsiger lays down as well.
So we lost the plaid shirt and the checkered shirt. And now we're left with the striped shirt and the sports jersey.
And the 2 short stacks at this table. 7 of hearts gives Merson a gut shot in addition to his flush draw. Malherbe still on top with top pair, and he checks.
Merson doesn't have a hand yet, but he's got chips, and he's jonesing to win a pot.
In against the amateur, bets 425,000. Malherbe now.
I'm all in.
Says all in. Wow.
Good luck.
And a call from Greg Merson on the draw.
Well, Merson got the right pot odds to call, but the problem for him, if he loses this pot and he's a 3-to-1 dog, he's down again under 3 big blinds. Malherbe at risk. With 1 card to come, Merson essentially risks his main event on a draw.
The river card is a club, and Merson rivers the flush.
With only 12 outs left in the deck, Merson hit the perfect river card, while his opponent hit the showers. Now sitting with a 50 big blind stack, he had all the momentum and seemed unstoppable. But his biggest defining moment came towards the end of the night when he got involved in a crucial hand versus another big stack.
Ace 9 of diamonds.
You say Weber Kang, I think Clubber Lang.
He introduces himself with a raise to 160,000.
Kang did finish 86th at the 05 main event.
Merson now with Ace King of clubs.
Merson was knocked down to under 3 big blinds on day 5. Most people check out in that spot. He battled back.
You mentioned he won a bracelet just recently, and he banked over $1 million with that win. He just calls. Russell Thomas in the button folds. Hill, Queen 9.
Leave Greg alone.
She does. And the big blind, Omar Saeed folds Jack Deuce. So heads up, it'll be Weber Kang, the newcomer, and Greg Merson. Merson has Kang dominated. Here's the flop. Ace King tray. Uh-oh. Kang with only a pair of aces. Merson with top 2.
This is setting up quite nicely for Merson.
175.
Kang bets 175,000.
Merson's loving this spot, and he'd love for Kang to have an ace in his hand, which is what Kang has.
Merson with top 2. Just a call. He will keep Kang on the hook.
2 deep stacked players here.
6 of diamonds. Weber Kang adds a flush draw.
A big card for Kang, and yet he's in serious trouble.
Kang with 425,000 now.
Merson looking to turn around his day right here.
A beautiful spot to do just that. And he's going to put some pressure on Kang with a raise to $1,075,000.
Well, if Weber Kang were Clubber Lang, he'd go for the knockout right now.
Kang with top pair, but he can't bank on that. He needs to hit a diamond.
Nine.
Weber Kang shoves.
A call.
A call from Merson, and he's in good shape to pick up a bunch of chips.
Well, this is a lot like the Merson Malherbe hand. Kang at risk, but with 9 outs. If Merson's hand holds up, he'll be among the chip leaders. If Merson loses here, again, he'll be knocked down to under 6 big blinds.
Kang, the newcomer to the table, looking for help. The river card. The 9 of hearts, and Kang is out. Merson dodges disaster again, sending Weber Kang to his main event demise.
That massive pot catapulted his stack to over 7 million, and when the night concluded, he was 12th in chips out of 27 remaining players. The comeback was becoming real, but things were about to get even crazier the next day. Merson returned with momentum, but this day would test every ounce of mental toughness, the type of psychological warfare that separates champions from everyone else.
Blinds are up right now to 80 and 160,000 with a 20,000 chip ante.
I'm all in.
Wilfred Herig, the short stack here with 6s, shoves.
The 25-year-old pushes with 18 big blinds left.
Over to Elizabeth Hill on the Jack Link Speed Jerky hole cam. She folds 7-5. On the button, Dave Balkin folds. Ladisor.
Looking good.
He folds to Merson with queens.
A call.
Yeah, that's an easy call. So Herig at risk. His 6s in severe trouble.
Yeah, a grimace from Wilfried Herig. Herig trying to take Martine Stashko Plaid to the final table.
His dream of the final table fading. Merson with just under a quarter of his stack at risk. All right, here's the flop. 10-7 King all hearts. Neither player has a heart.
Not much there to Heerig's liking.
The pocket 6 is trying to improve and stay in the main event. 9 of clubs is a little help as he picks up a gut shot.
Herig triples his outs. Now a 6 or an 8 would keep him around.
And the river card is a 6. The long shot comes home. Herig rivers a set to save his main event.
An 80% favorite turned into heartbreak after that 6 spiked the river. This is the kind of beat that destroys players mentally. But Merson had already stared down worse odds. Not just at the poker table, but in life. And he was about to face one of the toughest decisions yet.
At the feature table, under the gun, Cy Watson with a raise to 350,000 with Ace King.
I've proposed playing Hold'em with 3 blinds, small blind, big blind, super blind for more action. But that ante-only Hold'em event, Lon, that's a great fun game, definitely more action.
It is quite popular with the players indeed. Ladisor folds to Greg Merson. Merson on the Jack Link Speed Jerky hole cam, pocket 10s.
Greg says poker saved his life at 18 because he was so messed up on drugs. At first, poker paid for his drug addiction, but then poker got him clean.
Merson in late position with a re-raise to 775. Jesse Sylvia on the button folds king 7.
After Greg's relapse, he went to rehab again and has been clean 7 months coming into this World Series.
Hehrig folds his big blind, so back to Watson, the original raiser with ace-king.
Cy Watson mulling over Merson's 3-bet.
Both players with premium hands. Wow, that's a lot of the lavender chips. A re-raise to over 1.9 million.
Watson's 4-bet leaves him in a tough spot if Merson calls or raises here. And now it's getting serious, and this is where Merson's reads have been spot on. If he puts Watson on a bigger pair, he's got to release. But anything else, he'll put the pressure on Watson, who's only got him covered by less than 1 million chips.
All in.
All in.
And there is the pressure. Watson certainly knows how serious Greg is now.
And Cy Watson now with his moment of truth.
Indeed, Norman. Does Watson want to risk almost all of his chips against this premium player in Greg Merson?
I call.
And he does. He says, let's go. Ace-king has the pocket tens covered.
Just your routine 14.7 million chip race with 2 main event fates in the balance.
Merson with all of his chips in the middle.
I flip good, Greg.
Watson confident he can send Merson out the door. A huge pot here on day 7. Here's the flop. 4 jack 7. Merson still best, gets through the initial storm.
Watson says he flips good, but Merson's got to like the look of that.
Turn card. Tray of hearts. Watson comes up empty.
King ball one time. King ball one time.
Ace or a king would end Greg Merson's main event.
The river card. Another 7. Greg Merson is very healthy once again with that double.
That huge double up to stay alive had Merson thanking the poker gods. But as the expression goes, poker giveth and poker taketh.
Queen 10 of clubs.
Merson talks poker strategy with former roommate Tony Gregg. He's also close with fellow Maryland pro Christian Harder.
Merson with a raise to 325. Sylvia with aces.
When Jesse first moved to Las Vegas, he stayed with Russell Thomas. Now both of them in the final 3 tables of the main event. It pays to choose your roommates wisely.
Good timing for Jesse Sylvia, one of the shorter stacks. He just calls with the aces.
Jesse is a 3-betting machine, but he's going to slow play here.
It's Percy Manhattan out of the hand. Over to Cy Watson, still with us on the button. 7-6 goes into the muck. Now Elizabeth Hill. Does she want to tangle with Sylvia and Merson? Not with those cards. Big blind Dave Balkin with 4 deuce will do that.
Balkin getting more than 6-1 on his money to come in with his big blind rags.
Might as well give it a shot. It was cheap. 3 players. Trey 8, jack 2 clubs. Balkin missed. He checks Merson with a straight flush draw.
Merson shows no signs that he has a straight flush draw. I'm twitching here in the booth.
I know you are.
Is that a chick?
Yeah. Curiosity killed the 2% hand.
Sylvia still good with the aces for the time being.
Jesse once worked as a lifeguard. He quit that job because he couldn't leave his right hand on his left shoulder all day long.
He bets 530,000 with the best hand. Balkin with 4 deuce gets out of the way. Merson now with the draw.
All in.
The monster draw says all in. And a snap call from Jesse Sylvia with the aces. He's going to have to fade some danger.
He sees that his pocket aces are under siege.
Some nice hands.
I have aces. He's got a combo draw.
Now the best starting hand of the game, not always the best finishing hand. Jesse will try to hang on.
Couldn't just show me ace jack.
I thought you had aces, pretty chill. I was seriously just like, I'm just gonna check fold like queen 5 deuce.
He's got like 4.
On the right is Jesse's girlfriend, Ashley Sleeth. Turn card. Tray of clubs. Merson's flush comes through.
And clubs send Sylvia 1 foot out the door. Only an ace or 3 will save him.
The river card is the 3. Oh! Jesse Sylvia fights back with a full house.
Merson couldn't connect, leading to another setback, this time costing him 25% of his stack. But he was all smiles, because later, he would get the ultimate payback versus Sylvia. The very next hand, he found himself in the same situation with the exact same hand.
She folds to Greg Merson.
With Hill out of the hand, the water is safe for Greg Merson.
Queen 10 of diamonds, a raise to 400,000.
So you have like 10 million, right? Thank you.
Esposito asking questions with 8 tray. He folds to Wilfried Hierig on the button, ace-7 of hearts.
He cashed in last year's main event, finishing 217th.
Backing it up with a very strong run this year, a re-raise to 960,000.
Marc-Andre Ladouceur, 63rd in last year's main event.
He's one blind that gets out of the way. Danny folds his big blind, now back to Merson.
When Merson won his 6-max bracelet just before this main event, he cried tears of joy. It wasn't about the money, it was about what he's been through in recent years, overcoming drug addiction.
Almost $2.5 million in the middle, and that brings straight draws to each player. Double gutter for Merson, up and down for Hierig. Merson checks.
Merson might be the first person to ever make it through the main event by checking without ever touching the table.
They both check. Turn card, Jack of spades. Merson hits the straight and has Hierig drawing dead.
Yeah, Merson with the stone-cold nuts at the moment with no flush draw out there.
Merson reaching for chips. He's out chipped by Hierig by about $3 million. There's $1,050,000.
The 0% next to Hierig's name indicates there are no cards in this deck that can give him a winning hand.
Hierig, though, with the draw himself.
Oh, he's speculating here at a bad time.
And he makes the call. River card now. 5 of hearts. Oh, that's not good for Hierig, rivering a smaller straight.
All in.
All in.
And a call from Hierig. And Greg turns over his better straight.
Merson bounced back, scooping in a massive pot. But the poker gods were about to put him to the ultimate test in a spot no player ever wants to be in.
And pocket aces on the Jack Link's beef jerky hole cam for Russell Thomas. Thomas with a raise to 750. Jake Balsiger with ace-king.
Bad time for ace-king. Joe Cata, youngest main event champion when he won in 2009. Balsiger would eclipse Cata if he can win it all.
Balsiger just makes the call with ace-king. Pocket queens for Greg Merson. Wow, no power shortage on this deal.
You know, look at these monster hands. Potentially good news for Gail Bowman and her short stack. Someone could go bust here.
Merson, as we've seen, not shy about putting chips in the middle with a re-raise to $1,850,000. Bowman folds.
Merson's second biggest stack, Thomas fourth biggest, Balsiger one of the shorter stacks.
Now the overwhelming chip leader, Jesse Sylvia, with 10-5.
Easy fold for Jesse.
Easy fold for Jesse. A lot of action in front of him. And big hands in front of him, as we know.
Oh, Jesse. I know you have a boatload of chips and you'd love to abuse the biggest bubble in poker, but this thing's already been 3-bet.
What is he up to, Norman?
The kid's got Spunklon. Spunk can win the day. Spunk can leave you in a ditch.
The big stack bully re-pops it to $4,600,000. Salaburu gives up the button.
Thomas sitting on pocket aces, and it's been 4-bet behind him.
Korknoy folds his small blind. Esposito now. Michael looks down at, holy smokes, pocket tens. That's an easy fold for Michael.
Easiest he'll ever see. And now it's up to the 24-year-old actuary with pocket aces.
What a moment, 10-handed.
I'm all in.
All in.
He says all in for over $17.6 million. Balsiger with ace-king. And Russell get a taker. Well, it won't be Jake.
Balsiger with the right decision. Merson has twice the chip stack of Thomas.
And folds the queens. Jesse folds and Thomas wins it and shows the aces.
In a spot where most players would have called, Merson makes a brilliant fold, avoiding a massive cooler and displaying Negreanu-like poker instincts. Moments later, the last female standing was sent home in 10th place, and the final table was set. From 3 big blinds to the biggest stage in poker, Greg Merson had done the impossible, but his biggest challenge was still ahead. As the final day began, Merson made his entrance rocking his favorite baseball jersey and the 3rd biggest stack. He was locked in, ready to compete for $8 million and a chance to cap off the greatest redemption story in poker history.
Raised to 700,000 with 10-8 of diamonds. Small blind Michael Esposito with suited king queen.
You know, I was competing in a triathlon with Mike Esposito last week, and he called you an idiot, Lon, but no one made a big deal about that.
I got no phone calls either. Esposito made the call. Heads up, it'll be the Orioles jersey of Adam Jones, worn by Greg Merson, and Michael Esposito. Jack King 7, top pair for Esposito. Got shot from Merson. And Michael checks.
Not sure why Esposito is checking top pair. Merson says, I'd love a free one.
And he gets a free one. Turn card now. Deuce of diamonds. Esposito's still good, but Merson does pick up a flush draw. Now Esposito does bet 800,000.
That's a small bet with a straight draw and now a flush draw. Merson is priced in to call here if he's in the mood.
And he is indeed in the mood.
It's not only a small pot, Lon, it's a small and silent pot.
River card now. Queen of diamonds. Merson gets there with the flush. That gives Esposito top 2 pair.
That's a nasty card for Esposito.
$1,250,000 from Esposito.
That's actually another small value bet from Esposito with top 2.
It may get a little more expensive for him right here, though.
I call.
A raise to Merson, a quick call, and Merson shows the flush.
It was a strong start for Merson, rivering a flush and extracting maximum value from his opponent, tilting him in the process. Esposito was now out for revenge, and he was looking to get it in the very next hand.
Michael Esposito, re-raised all-in with ace-jack, was called by the ace-king of Greg Merson.
Esposito without a whole lot to work with tonight. He moves in with the big ace. Unfortunately, Merson has a bigger ace. Espo is down to just a little more than 20 big blinds. Esposito looking to survive. Merson looking to take the chip lead.
The flop 4-9-7, 2 spades. Esposito can now root for runner along with the jack.
Esposito competed and finished the New York City Triathlon the day before the main event marathon began and looking for a great finish here.
There is another spade on the turn. Esposito motionless. Merson composed as usual.
Esposito's got to have a jack or any spade.
The river card, the 8 of clubs. Not the card Esposito wanted to see.
Merson was now the chip leader, scoring his first knockout and sending his opponent to the rails. A few hands later, he picks up ace-king again. What happened next left everyone at the table completely stunned.
Ace-king of spades. He puts out a raise, $1 million. The blind's still $250,000, $500,000. Jesse Sylvia in the small blind with jack 9.
And it appears that Jesse's inner Vanessa Selps again is manifesting itself.
And that's more than $1 million in his hand. With jack 9, a re-raise to $2.6 million. And the big blind Koroknoy now. Andrash with a lot of action coming his way. Looks down at king, queen off.
At the time of his moped accident, Andrash was in Greece because he had just had a relationship gone bad. Who among us hasn't ended up in Greece after breaking up with a girlfriend?
Well, Koroknoy says make it $5.3 million. Back to Merson now with his ace-king on the button.
We are 6-handed now, and Merson won his bracelet in the 6-handed event. 6-handed is his bread and butter.
And he pushes the action to $9.2 million.
Jesse's inner, I'm a mama's boy and I want to go home should manifest itself here.
He does fold now to Koroknoy, who takes a peek up at the in-house big screen with player chip counts. He's barely covered by Merson.
Well, Andrash has been pretty snug. He's made a move, but Merson woke up with a big hand.
All in.
All in from Koroknoy.
Call.
Merson calls for almost all of his chips, and he's got Koroknoy in trouble.
I was just telling Jesse how he was just going to spew it off to someone.
Osmus and Sylvia both mouthed wow when they saw the hands. They realized the best player at the table is about to be gifted an 84 million chip pot. It's insane, Lon. 80 big blinds to start the hand, and all of Andrash Koroknoy's chips are in the middle with king, queen off.
Koroknoy, the 3-1 dog with just one live card. Here's the flop, deuce straight 8, about as blank as it gets for Andrash.
Koroknoy in the midst of a massive blowup. Merson poised to take command of this championship.
A turning point at this championship table. Now the turn card. 7 of spades, and that steals one of Andrash's outs as Merson adds a flush draw.
Koroknoi has to have a non-spade queen.
The river card is another 7. That brings an end to quite an...
Merson's super aggressive image led to a catastrophic mistake by his opponent. Expecting another wild bluff, Koroknoi shoved all in with a marginal hand, thinking he could push Merson off the pot. It was a perfect example of how a well-cultivated aggressive image can lure opponents into lighting their chips on fire. An hour later, only 3 players remained, with Merson still leading the way, holding nearly half of the chips in play. But he had no intention of taking his foot off the gas. Everyone watching could feel it. Merson wasn't just chasing chips anymore, he was chasing greatness. And then, he made a move that left fans and even poker's greatest player in complete awe.
Handed for the World Championship action on Merson on the button. Queen Jack of Hearts. And he limps in for 800,000. The small blind, Sylvia, 10 of spades, 9 of clubs. And Jesse, wow, what is this, a holiday truce of the raising wars? Just a call. Queen 10 for Balsiger in the big blind.
Well, we saw Greg Merson limping on the button. That used to be a sign of inexperience or weakness. Now it's a sign of creativity or mixing it up.
The big blind Balsiger says enough of this. 3.7 million is his raise.
Well, Balsiger with a little squeeze play here, sensing weakness.
Back to Merson now.
Looks like Greg has other ideas.
There's a call for 2.9 million more before Sylvia gets out of the way.
Balsiger's raise there would take down the pot pre-flop a lot of the time, not this time.
It's Greg Merson. It's a 10 million chip lead on Balsiger. Both with 2 overcards to the board. Merson's kicker has him ahead. Jake first to act. Both have gut shots to a queen high straight.
At Arizona State, Balsiger is majoring in political science with a minor in continuation betting science.
And he has learned a continuation bet of 4.5 million. Often will take the pot down. But not against Greg Merson, apparently.
Once again, I would have thought that bet would end this thing most of the time. Not this time.
There's a call from Greg. So, 17.5 million chips up for grabs. And we're just going to the turn card. 4 of hearts now. No help to Balsiger. Merson does pick up a flush draw.
Both these guys still without a hand.
Balsiger with guts, 7.5 million.
You're right, Lon. Balsiger's 21, and most of the time when he acts, the chip leader and the best player at the table is acting right behind him. This kid shows a lot of poker heart.
Balsiger started the hand with 70 million, Merson with 80 million.
Well, Merson's not giving up on the pot. Of course, he doesn't know it, but he's a 93% favorite right now.
There's the call. 32.5 million chips in the middle.
Jake has to squirm a little bit now. He's got nothing.
River card, 6 of spades, no flush or straight for Merson, but his jack kicker makes him best. But can he believe that?
No, Jake right now is thinking in for a dime, in for 30 or 40 times. He knows he can't win unless he bets at it again.
Wow, he's going to test Greg further. 13 million straight.
Well, I got to believe firing this third barrel is going to work.
Jesse Sylvia, a very interested observer, as is Phil Ivey.
Merson doesn't usually Hollywood it. I would have thought he would have folded here immediately.
Hold on.
What was that?
Hold on.
Oh, my. Jake gave it the college try, but folds.
And Merson shows what he thinks is a bluff. Merson channels his inner Ivy with that one.
Merson's well-executed bluff left Phil Ivey impressed. He seemed unstoppable and was outplaying everyone. But then came one of the most brutal moments in televised poker history.
Sylvia on the button on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky hole cam. Ace-King, another premium hand. Penn and Teller Theater still buzzing from that 10 on the turn. A raise to 2 million. Balsiger folds suited 6-4. Merson in the big blind with 2 red kings.
Boy, Jesse Sylvia just took the bad beat. Now he picks up Ace-King on the very next hand and runs into pocket kings.
Well, Merson No doubt we'll be raising here. How much? He makes it $4.8 million.
This is not a collision course Jesse Sylvia can afford.
So now Jesse started the hand with $42 million. Merson with almost $117 million. That's a re-raise to $14.2 million.
And 1/3 of Jesse's remaining stack already in this pot.
Is now the bet. 14.2.
Greg said, let's play for your stack.
I call.
And a call from Sylvia with ace-king. He's going to need help to stick around.
Greg's kings versus Jesse's ace-king.
Selps exasperated by the developments. Merson in his usual zen-like pose. And Sylvia with two back-to-back big hands about to get swept out of here.
A hand to go. Sylvia had $60 million and Balsiger on the ropes now. Sylvia could be out of this main event. All right, now the flop with Sylvia at risk. Tray 5 deuce, a wheel draw for Jesse.
We always have the best flops in tournaments.
Merson still in great position to get to heads up with a huge chip lead on Jake Balsiger.
Ashley wanting to comfort Jesse. Ivy hoping Greggy can hang on.
Kind of feeling an ace.
Turn card 8 of hearts. Merson still good in one card from heads up with a dominating chip lead.
I'm sure Jesse loves Ashley, but getting consoled while staring at a 7-outer is not what I'd want. Jesse Sylvia needs a 4 or an ace to survive.
And the river card. Oh, here's the 4! Sylvia does it the hard way, filling his straight.
That brutal cooler gave Sylvia the chip lead and cost Merson a huge chunk of his stack. Had he won that hand, he would have been heads up with 80% of the chips in play. But when it comes to maintaining mental composure and overcoming adversity, Merson is one of the best. If he was going to win, he knew it was time to lock in and dig deep.
Sylvia with a raise to $4 million. That's a minimum raise now with the blinds now at $1 million, $2 million. Balsiger with queen 10 off.
All in.
He says all in for his $20,300,000. Merson with king queen.
Well, 10 big blinds left for Jake. Queen 10's pretty good. Merson thinking of coming in, not giving Sylvia too much credit for his button raise.
Merson getting an exact count from the dealer.
A call.
He makes the call. Now to Sylvia with a pocket pair.
Wish I had limped or something.
He gives it up, and Balsiger will need to pull another rabbit out of his hat to stick around.
Yeah, Balsiger at risk. He would rather have faced the pocket 4s. Merson has him dominated.
So Jake Balsiger on the hook again. His mother looking nervous, but he's been through this before. The flop is 6-6-6. King high still best for Merson.
I wish you could feel my heart. It's like not even beating.
Jake survived ace-10 versus ace-queen against Sylvia.
Turn card is paint, but only a jack. Balsiger still in trouble.
Well, with a river, jack, or queen, they would chop the pot. Balsiger needs a 10 to win it all. Otherwise, his attempt to become youngest main event champion will be over.
The river card is the 5 of hearts. Balsiger can't make it happen this time as Greg Merson takes the last of his chips.
Merson eliminated Balsiger in third place, setting up a heads-up battle against Sylvia with a 2-1 chip lead. $8 million and the coveted main event bracelet was on the line. But then suddenly, just 3 hands into heads-up play, came the biggest defining moment of the entire tournament.
Merson with king 5 of diamonds and a min raise to $4 million. Sylvia
raised to $4 million.
Looks down at queen jack of spades on the Jack Link Speed Jerky hole cam.
Now heads up, these are 2 strong suited hands. Before the main event final table began, Jesse said he had hoped to go heads up against his former roommate Russell Thomas. Jesse also said that Greg Merson was the best player at this final table.
Now, Sylvia not going anywhere, as you said, with a very playable hand. And he actually re-raises to $9.5 million.
All in.
Merson raises Sylvia all in.
Moment of truth for Jesse Sylvia. Main event title aside, Jesse would be getting the right price to call here, but he did start the hand with 35 big blinds, and I don't believe he thinks his hand is best right now.
So difficult to put your opponent on a narrow range of hands pre-flop, especially under these circumstances, especially heads up. This would be for all his chips.
I call.
And he makes the call. Sylvia at risk, but he's got 2 live cards.
So we have like a suited queen.
Greg Merson now 1 clean board away from main event glory.
I don't think Vanessa's too happy. Jesse's girlfriend, Ashley, is hopeful.
Merson stays in character. Just another day at the office. Sylvia joins his rail.
They're racing for Jesse's tournament life. Merson a clean board away from the title. The flop, 6 tray 9, no help for Sylvia. Merson 2 cards from the win.
Merson now a 3-1 favorite to become world champion.
Everyone on their feet. The turn card, another 6. Greg Merson, 1 card from a payday of $8.5 million. Will it be all over for Jesse and his gang?
Queen or a jack, or Greg Merson is world champion.
And the river card is a 7. Sylvia is out. Greg Merson is the 2012 main event champion.
And just like that, he had done it. Greg Merson overcame the impossible, conquering his demons and going from just 3 big blinds to world champion. As Merson held up the main event bracelet with tears in his eyes, it represented more than just a poker victory. It was the ultimate redemption story, proof that no matter how far you fall, you can always fight your way back and rise higher than ever before.